Last year, I competed in one of the largest creator events of the year, Ludwig Streamer Games, which is basically just the YouTube Olympics. And that was a lot of fun, competing in a lot of different events alongside 31 different content creators, including some of the biggest YouTubers and biggest streamers in the entire world. And while I definitely had some good individual success, throwing the Nerf ball the furthest, about 90 yards, which got me first place for that event, and then getting first place in Simon Says, in which all 32 of us competed in the world's hardest Simon Says game, we didn't unfortunately win the entire event. I mean, we made it to the finals because the top 4 teams qualify for the finals, but we fell a little bit short. And not to mention, I actually ended up hurting myself and pulled my hamstring before the event even began. So truth be told, despite it being a fantastic event, really well ran by Ludwig and Red Bull, I had a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth because we didn't get first place. And I thought it ended there, until I got a message from Ludwig inviting me back for Streamer Games 2. And this one is even bigger than the last, with 40 different creators and streamers with over hundreds of millions of followers across all platforms. And of course I said yes because I was out to seek vengeance. And this event had some of the biggest creators, ranging from YouTubers like Jacksepticeye all the way to some of the biggest Twitch streamers like the FaZe Clans. There was a little bit of added pressure this year to come back and perform. Plus, of course, I had my personal vendetta to come back and win first place. But before I got there was a draft in which the 8 assigned captains had to pick amongst the 32 what their team of 5 would be. And I thought surely being the only person to win 2 solo events last year would get the first overall draft pick, but I was wrong.
I'm gonna pick the best person available, and that's gonna be Nicewig.
I didn't get the first draft pick. That instead went to Nicewig, who was honestly goated. He was one of the best people last year, but he went first overall, so I wasn't too upset about that, and I thought surely I was going to be the second pick.
With the second overall pick in the Streamer Games draft, I select Adapt.
FaZe Adapt, who's pretty athletic in his own right, was picked ahead of me, and now at this point, I had no idea where I was going to be picked. And next up was a streamer named Extra Emily, who I actually competed against last year and is an old friend of mine, and this is what happened.
I think he's like a very strong competitor. I saw him at last year's games. He won almost every single thing. I'm picking Sambucha.
Strong pick. He was a MVP. I think he had the farthest throw, beating Vinny Hacker in the distance throwing last year. It's a good, solid choice.
I was finally picked as the 3rd overall draft pick on Team Emily, and this is what the rest of our team looked like. We have It's Timmy, King Arthur, and then Mari. And a lot of people didn't consider us the heavy favorites. Instead, they would give that to Jason the Ween and the FaZe guys on Team Red, or Jacksepticeye on his green team. So we were a little bit of underdogs, but I was ready, and so finally the day came of day 1.
All right, guys, we're gonna meet up with the team right now. So I'm on Extra Emily's team, and I think they're all sitting over there. So we're gonna decide what games we're gonna be playing and just kind of like allocate who's doing what, talk strategy a bit, and just meet everyone, because I honestly don't really know the team too well, so let's do it.
Hi.
Hey, what's up, guys?
I'm Mari.
I'm Sam, nice to meet you.
This is Sam, guys.
Hey, what's up? Emily, nice to meet you.
You want to stuff yourself in the couch?
Yeah, let me just say what's up. Sam, nice to meet you. Sam, nice to meet you guys.
Now there were 12 games total, with some being team games, some being partially team games, and some being solo, and you could only compete in up to 3 different partial team/solo games, so we had to be clever about who's gonna do what. Now for about 80% of the games, we generally knew who would do what and were pretty confident in them, but in some of the games, like field goal kicking, none of us had played soccer or have a kicking background, so that one was a more difficult one, and so we decided on the following. So I was set to compete in tug of war, pretty derby, which is just a leg of a relay race, and then bridge jousting, which you get up on something and try to hit people off.
I actually feel really good about our team. I'm looking around, I'm not really too concerned about the teams here, so things should be good. We're heading to orientation right now, and then we're gonna begin.
So after this, we headed onto the field, and we saw the entire setup, and everything there was absolutely sick. I got to meet a ton of really cool creators. We talked a little bit, we talked about some of our strategies, who's doing what, and before you knew it, the games were finally beginning.
All right, so the streamer games are about to begin. I'm just getting some stretches in. Last year, if you'll recall, the reason I'm stretching is because right there, I actually tore my hamstring as I was running, practicing for the 100-meter dash. This time, there's no running events, so I should be fine, but I'm still stretching it out because somebody actually ended up tearing their hamstring, so it's sad to see. But in any case, we're about to begin, and we'll get things started, hopefully with a dub in tug of war.
Come on up, let's get a round of applause for Team Emily!
3, 2, 1,
Yes!
Games are about to start in like 2 minutes. We're gonna start with tug of war. I'll see who we're matched up against. Don't know right now. I'm hoping it's not against Team Yellow or Team Orange, because they're gonna be our toughest ones. And it's single elimination, so if we lose this, we're just out.
Now, tug of war generally has a strategy to it. If you have good power, that's obviously a plus, but you just want to pull and be synchronized, and that's really the cheat code to this game. Also, it's nice to have traction, but nobody had cleats on because we were on turf. And our very first game was against Team Agent, the purple team. And I thought we were pretty evenly matched, and here's what happened.
So we're about to start, and I'm gonna be in the back calling pull.
Rope has been centered. It is a best of 1, folks.
Pull, 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 pull. That was quick and easy. That was like 10 seconds, so looking good.
So we ended up winning the first match very quickly, and so we moved on to the second match against Red Team, which was Team Jason, and this is what happened.
We are in it. Team Emily with a strong pull to start. E-Rob slipping, trying to get his footing. He gets his footing, but it might be too little too late. We're about half a meter from ending. They're not over the line. Stans is right there to judge. Again, half a meter separates Team Emily from victory, and they get it done. Gloves.
So after that, we advanced to the finals against Team Jacksepticeye, who, by the way, got sick, so he ended up not coming to the event, and he was replaced with somebody named Foolish Gamers, who's a big YouTuber and streamer. And that team had 3 guys, and they were an absolute beast. And here's what that looked like.
3, 2, 1. Home. We are in it. Home. Home. Rope slowly making its way towards Team Jack's cone. Team Emily's falling apart here. I'm seeing the lead right now. Mr. Arthur not gaining his footing. His shoes slipping out of his feet. He's on the ground. It's over. It's over!
So we lost that, but great start because overall we are now in 2nd place because we received 7 points. So the next game of the Olympics was Bull Royale, which is basically like horse if you've ever played that in basketball, where you have to make a shot and then all the other people have to make it. And if they miss it, they get a letter. In this case, Red Bull hosted the event. Instead of horse, it was bull. You get the idea. And we sent out Extra Emily, our team captain, to compete in bull because 1, she did it last year and actually placed quite well. And 2, she had a lot of interesting shots that she could do, but more so the pre-shot, not the actual shot. Here's an example of something she did.
1, 2, 3.
And then what do you do?
If only there was a beautiful, attractive blonde girl near here.
And she was up against valid basketball players like Nicewig, who's extremely athletic, Lacey on Team Red, who is a good basketball player, and then Katie B, who's a streamer that was on Pink Team. And despite all the odds, she actually ended up getting 5th place, which we were pretty happy about going into the next event.
All right, so Emily got 5th place in basketball, so we've got 2nd and 5th so far, so this is what the scoreboard looks like. We're right in the mix towards the top. I don't know what's up next.
Derby, if you're polar, go middle.
Pretty derby, so I'm up right now, and hopefully we can get like 3rd or 4th place and stay in the mix.
So the 3rd event was called Pretty Derby, and it's a 3-leg relay race that I was actually participating in as the 2nd leg. The first person basically has to chug 12 ounces of milk and then do a 50-meter sprint to the second person, who is then pulling that person on a sled another 50 yards. And then from there, somebody has to do a straight sprint through the finish line for a 100-yard dash. It sounded intense, so we put Emily on the milk because she was confident that she could drink milk quickly. The 2nd leg is where I was going, where I would have to pull Emily then on the sled to then tap ultimately to It's Timmy, who would run the final 100 yards. We were feeling pretty good about this. I actually got to practice with Extra Emily beforehand. I was doing a lot of different motions, and I felt confident that I could basically outpace the other guys in my sled group. And before you know it, we finally began.
3, 2. Oh my gosh, a big spill from Emily. And we're seeing a slow chug from KDB. Oh my, all right, we are off. We're sprinting down right now towards the power sleds. All right, we see the first person in the sled is Team Bruce Lee. They're making their way down the track. We're gonna have to clear because this 100 yards is gonna be coming back down this way. I think first to clear though is actually Team Emily with a lot of power and speed from Sambucha. I see a head down sprint. It's coming down to the wire. They're coming my way. I think it's a dash. He falls. Oh, he knocks down Timmy. Oh my God. Foolish with the taunts at the end. The drama.
We ended up getting tripped up by Phase Adapt on Team Purple. So despite the fact that after the sled pull, I came through and we were in 1st place for the sprint, we ended up getting tripped up, and instead of getting 2nd or 3rd place, we got 5th place. Apparently there was no true violations despite us getting tripped up for whatever reason, but nonetheless, we prevailed and we're moving on to the 4th game. This 4th game is called Egg Drop, in which you have a set amount of time for 2 teammates to basically use all the resources around them to make a little defense pot to ultimately test its survivability when you drop it from 35 feet. Now the good news for this game is that every team besides 2 were able to build a defense mechanism for the eggs, so when they dropped it from the 35 feet, they survived. The bad news is we were one of the 2 teams that were unable to do it.
It didn't sound good.
So unfortunately, Arthur and Mari didn't perform well on this one, and we ended up sliding pretty far down the standings.
All right, so after the 5th event, we are now in 6th place. So not looking super great, but we still have some events left, and hopefully we can pull back here. So we have slippery servers now, so Mari's gonna do that. If we get somewhere in the middle, then we should be good for like a 5th or 4th place going into musical chairs, which I actually think we're going to win.
This game, you basically have to balance a cue ball while standing on a piece of ice for like 60 seconds, and every 60 seconds they add a new ball, and this game was intense. Everybody ended up surviving the 1st round, which meant it was time to place the 2nd ball, and this is when mayhem ensued.
3, 2, 1. Hands up. Hands up. You should only be balancing with your hands. Vanilla is out. The balls have dropped. Slime Skull's out. Sakura's out. Sidion is out. Maya is out. Mari is out. Sketch is out. Is the only person remaining Lulu!
So as you can see, Mari ended up getting second place, which gave us 7 points, which was a really strong finish right there, especially after the egg drop, and we were once again in great standing going into the next game. And this next game was the first game that everybody was participating in, and that was none other than musical chairs, a game that everybody has played at some point in their life, I'm sure. It was one of the largest games of musical chairs that I've ever observed. There was 40 people playing, so I think there was like 37 chairs to start, and then there was like 8 different rounds of elimination, so there was absolutely no odds on our side that we would win this. I mean, what are the chances you win a 40-person musical chair game?
Mari, that's... Oh.
Well, after the first round, things were going great because blue team was still in it quite strong. I ended up getting a seat. But as the second, third, and fourth rounds went on, we ended up losing a large chunk of our team, and the only ones remaining on blue team were me and Emily. Not to mention, things were starting to get intense as we were getting close to around 20 people at this point. Each round became significantly more difficult at this point as the odds just continued to dwindle, but we were surviving, despite the fact that I was actually next to Emily at some point, which is not optimal or ideal because that means that basically we'll be fighting for a chair at some point, but we actually didn't have that run-in, and me and Emily were going really far together, just winning round after round after round, until there was just a handful of people left.
Yep. Keep that pace. Watch the beat. Team Emily,
Yes.
you guys got 2 in.
Thank you, thank you.
It'd be crazy to lose.
We got this.
Good pace, good pace. Keep the, Emily, you gotta speed it up. Speed it up. Don't slow down. The music hasn't stopped. Why are you? Keep it going.
So in the semifinals, there was 3 people left. It was me, Emily, and Agent, so 2 blue team members and 1 purple team member, and we thought it'd be cool if both of us were remaining, so then we wouldn't have to play the final round, we would just win right there. But Agent was a formidable opponent, and this is what happened.
Keep that pace. Keep that pace. Don't slow down.
So close, they were both fighting for the chair, but as you can see, Agent ended up squeaking it out, and so it was me versus Agent for all the 8 points in musical chairs in the final round.
Keep that pace. Little faster, y'all. Little faster. Agent faster. Sam, a little slower. You're too close. Whoa, keep the hands behind the back. That's a warning. Never move the hands from behind the back. Agent, a little faster. Sam, a little... That's good.
I ended up getting the win against Agent pretty comfortably there, didn't have to fight too much for the chair, and that is 8 points, and we were in great standing now going on to gymnastics. And I was really happy at that point to have a solo win under my belt to continue the streak of streamer games getting a win. We were sending Emily out for gymnastics because she has a really bubbly personality. I think she's a decent dancer as well, so we thought there was a good chance that we can get good points here. Here's what some of her routine looked like.
Okay.
She's choking herself.
Oh, we're gonna have to take that into consideration.
Well, it's technically not dropped because it's attached to her.
Oh!
Okay.
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 We're going with the rhythmic.
Oh, God.
Oh, she dropped. Oh!
Honestly, pretty solid. I thought we were gonna get at least 3rd place in this, maybe even 2nd, but it turns out the judges absolutely hated it for whatever reason. I don't know what was happening. I don't know why they were being so punitive to her. She actually ended up getting 7th. The star of the show was Lily Pichu, a YouTuber's dog, who actually ended up being super cute. So honestly, I'm not mad about them getting points, but nonetheless, we ended up getting 7th.
All right, guys, day 1 is officially complete. We're in 3rd place right now with 33 points. We're not too far from the 1st place team, so I think tomorrow we could actually make a little bit of a comeback. But overall, we're in good standing because we just need top 4. So really good first day. We're gonna be better tomorrow. We're here now at day 2 of the streamer game. So after day 1, we did okay. We're in 3rd place. This is what the standings look like. But today is a fresh day with I think 6 or 7 events before the finale. We want to finish in top 4 so we could ultimately go to the pentathlon. I'm feeling great about today and everyone else has really good vibes. So I'm thinking we'll finish in 1st, but let's see what happens. So starting off first with archery, and Timmy's doing that.
And this one was honestly quite dangerous. These were real bow and arrows, and we were about, I think, 20 feet away from the targets. Timmy luckily had a lot of practice somehow in his childhood. I think he had played for like a year, so he said he was going to be pretty good at it, but I didn't realize how good.
Aim, fire. All right. Connection from Sunny, connection from Cinna, connection from Timmy. Again, if it touches a line, it counts as a 9. So that's a 9 plus an 8 plus a 7. So that's gonna be 24 points.
He ended up sweeping the competition. He was a sharpshooter. He got first place easily. Like, everybody else was honestly pretty solid, but he was consistently amazing on the target. So he got first place and things were looking great. We were in second place, now going on to the field goal. And remember earlier I said that none of us could kick? Well, it turns out that Arthur really couldn't kick, and he said that he couldn't even lift it off the ground, so he asked to switch with me bridge jousting and field goal last second, to which I of course had to agree because I wanted to compete for the team. But keep in mind, I am a hand-eye coordination person. You want me to throw a football, you want me to throw a baseball, hit a baseball, play basketball, I can do that. I've never played soccer, I can't kick. With that said, I feel like I could have kicked maybe a 10 or 15 yarder, so I said yes, and I thought I could at least get us maybe like 7th or 6th place instead of 8th. Now the rules of the field goal is that everybody would kick from the 10-yard line. You have 2 attempts for every kick. If you make it, you advance back 5 yards, so then you move to the 15, and if you don't make one of your 2 kicks, then you're eliminated. So we started off on the 10-yard line, and this is what these kicks look like.
Sam's built like he could kick.
He looks like a kicker.
Yeah, no clue. No clue, but that's easy.
Light work, Sam,
Easy.
light work.
With the exception of one person, everybody ended up making it pretty easily, moving us back to the 15-yard. And I was happy because at least I didn't get last place at this point, so I was at least guaranteed 7. This is where more people started to go out though. We ended up losing 2 more people, so now I was guaranteed at least 5th. But I was not confident about a 20-yarder, and I thought I was for sure going to lose right here.
All right, Sam going for his 15-yard kick.
Snuck it in. Well done. Well done.
Scary.
I somehow made it. I'm not sure how, but I made a 20-yard field goal despite never kicking that before in my entire life, which meant that I was a guaranteed lock for 3rd place with the other people losing. So the rest of this is just gravy, and everybody else I was competing against, Jacksepticeye, who's European and has played soccer, and he had a really good foot, and then Danny Bands, who is like the greatest kicker I've ever seen in person. Danny Bands ended up beating Jacksepticeye. He ended up getting 1st place, and for $10,000 towards charity, they asked if he could make a 40-yard field goal, which nobody thought he could do, and this is what happened.
For $10,000. Go, go!
One of the most hyped moment of the events. I mean, there's no way I was beating Danny Bands and hitting a 40-yarder. So I was just happy that I performed better than expectations, getting 3rd place.
I honestly was not beating any soccer players who came in 1st and 2nd, okay? But if you check the scoreboard right here, we are in fact in 1st place now. And I think we're moving on to either volleyball or bridge joust, but we are in a solid position with just a few events to go. So I think we're a pretty solid set for the pentathlon.
Next up is bridge jousting, and I swapped with Arthur, so now he was doing it. And I had a lot of faith in him because Arthur seems to be a pretty fit guy. And this was a fun event to watch because basically bridge jousting, you use this padded tool to try to hit your opponent off. It's a best 2 out of 3, so if you fall first, you lose, and you run this 2 to 3 times. If you end up beating them, you move on to the next person. And this is what happened in that event.
Best of 3, go! Oh, Stanis makes a call to watch ahead. I want to see that replay. Was that a clear headshot? That is going to be 1 point for Jason.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Tired of deciding what's a headshot. Jason with all the balance. Oh, Jason is out.
All right, that's a loss. All right, our winner.
Because Jason dropped his noodle, he loses that round. Oh, Arthur goes for a head swing. Round 2, elimination for Caroline. Good swings from both. Caroline goes for a last-ditch effort, doesn't work. She touches the ground first. Arthur moves on to the finals. They'd almost assuredly be in the top 4 if that happened. Let's see it. Whoa! A rare misstep by Arky. Arky, we're back in it. We're back in it. Whoa, whoa! It is 1-1. All right, it's game 3, final round. And Mr. Arthur wins!
We ended up winning. Arthur did a fantastic job, definitely making some enemies along the way, but we were really cruising at this point, getting a 1st, 3rd, and 1st in the 3 events of day 2. And so we moved on to volleyball, which I was pretty confident in because I thought that there was some decent base athleticism to our team. So we practiced a little bit, and then we got into our first game. There's a lot of highlights throughout our games, but definitely more lowlights because we couldn't come together as a team and ultimately perform the way we wanted to, and we lost. Volleyball didn't go our way, and the pink team ended up taking it, but we did end up getting 6th place because because of the point differential, which was honestly not too terrible. And we were barely in first going into the penultimate game, which was tablecloth pull, in which you have to pull a tablecloth and leave as many items on the table as possible. It's all about finesse and I think speed and power. I don't know. But we sent Mari out for that, and this is how she did.
Pull! Stop! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Hold up. This is going to be tough. Congratulations, Jody!
She unfortunately lost her first round, but relatively speaking, she did okay, and so she got 7th place, not 8th. From this, we ended up losing our first place standing and moved on to 2nd place, which was honestly fine because we were a lock for the finals at this point, but we really wanted first place. We felt like we could get it, but unfortunately, we just had one more event to go, Simon Says. So I actually got first place last year in Simon Says. I think it was the most fun event. They had the professional auctioneer who's basically super fast with saying, Simon says this, 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 this. But let's be realistic, there was no way I was going to win this event twice, because what are the odds again? You win in a field of 40 in a game of Simon Says, and I already exhausted all of my odds on musical chairs. I was happy though that we had extra Emily on our team, because if you'll recall from last year, she was right beside me and she got 2nd place. So I knew that we had a pretty strong team for Simon Says. However, this year was a little bit different because the rules of this were that you had to qualify for the finale of Simon Says by sending out one teammate in each of 5 rounds, and if you win in your group, then the entire team qualifies. So the first round we sent out Mari, and this is what happened.
Simon says hands up, Simon says hands down, Simon says run. Simon says stop, hands up, hands up. Simon says hands up, hands down, hands down. You moved, you're out, you're out.
Early exit by her. Then we sent out Timmy, and this is what happened.
Simon says up, Simon says down, Simon says run. Simon says stop, hands up, you're out.
Then we sent out Arthur.
Simon says put up your left hand. Simon says wave it. Simon says stop, right hand up, both hands up.
And we had 2 more attempts with me and Emily, and so we sent out Emily first, and I thought we were for sure chilling because Emily is great at this game, but she ended up getting caught.
Simon says up, Simon says down, Simon says touch this, hands up. You're out, and you didn't touch your ears, you're out too. Yeah.
She got by the Simon Says guy. He said, touch this, because he knew that her eyes were closed because she plays Simon Says without visual cues because it's easier to not get confused. So honestly, a little bit unfair that he said, touch this. He didn't give like a proper signal, but she lost, which meant that we had one more opportunity to qualify our team for the finals of Simon Says. Otherwise, we were not only about to not get first place, but possibly slide out of the top 4 and not make the finals. So I was up, and here's what happened.
Simon says up, Simon says down, Simon says head, Simon says hip, Simon says head, Simon says hip, Simon says nose, Simon says hip, Simon says nose, hands up. Simon says hands up, hands down. Simon says hands down, hands up, hands up. Simon says hands up, wave it around, wave it around. Simon says wave it. Simon says, you didn't wave it, you're out. Simon says give each other a funky, on the spot, made up handshake. Simon says go. Hands up. Simon says hands up, hands down. Simon says hands down. Run in place, run in place. Simon says run. Simon says run. Congratulations, Team Emily.
A lot of fun, but I ended up actually qualifying our team. I was happy that I was able to get the win, but the show had only just begun because now we were doing a massive 25-person Simon Says, and here's what that looked like.
Simon says, if you're ready, Simon says, give me a big yeah. I love it. Here we go. Hands up. Simon says hands up. Simon says hands down. Nice. Faster. Hands up. Yes, you're the only one who made that mistake. Simon says up, Simon says down, Simon says head, Simon says tap the head. Simon says stop. Hands up, you're out, you're out. Simon says hands up, hands down, you're out, you're out. Simon says hands down, faster, hands up, you're out. Simon says wave it, Simon says stop, right hand up, both hands up, Simon says both hands up, wave it around, you're out. Simon says wave it around, you're out. Simon says stop, hands down, you moved, you're out, you're out, you're out. Simon says up, Simon says down, Simon says lean, Simon says stand up straight, Simon says lean, Simon says stand up straight, hands up, Simon says, oh, you moved, you're out. You ready for this now? Supersonic. Simon says up, Simon says down, Simon says nose, Simon says belly, Simon says nose, Simon says belly, Simon says hip, Simon says nose, Simon says hip, Simon says nose. Hands up. You didn't put them up, but you're not on your nose, you're out. Simon says hands up, hands down, faster. Simon says hands down, hands up, you're out. Simon says up, Simon says down, Simon says up, Simon says down, hands up, you're out. Simon says tap the hips, Simon says stop, hands up, you're out. Simon says, put up your right hand. Wave it around. You're out. Did you wave? You're out. Hands up, hands up. Simon says hands up, hands down. Simon says hands down. Run in place, you're out. Simon says head, Simon says hips, Simon says head, Simon says hips. Hands up, Simon says hands up, hands down. Simon says hands down. They're very good. Simon says deep knee bend, stand up straight. I want to tell you guys a story. No. This is awkward. Summits just stand up straight. Ready? Summits his head, Summits his hips. Hands up. You're up. Summits just face each other. It's tiny. Summits just shake hands. Summits just wish each other good luck. Summits his hands down. Face me, please. Face me, face me, face me. Nice. Summits just face me. That was close. Summits just put up your right hand. Summits just put it down. Left hand up, left hand up. Congratulations, my friend. Come here. Yeah. I don't know. I get hit up 1,000 times a year. Steve, hook me up with this shirt. And I never give them away. You know why? You got to earn this puppy. My friend, congratulations. This is you like that. Yeah. Your streamer, Simon Says Champion. Woo!
I guess I'm a good listener because for whatever reason, I am now a 2-time Simon Says champion. It's one of the most fun events that is at the Streamer Games every single year. I have no idea how I won it again, but nonetheless, we won. And we were officially, as a team, in first place going into the pentathlon. So we were happy. We effectively won the event, but we didn't win the gold medal because we have to actually win the pentathlon first. Now, we did have a 5-second advantage going into the pentathlon because that's your reward, I guess, for coming in first place from all the other events, because otherwise there's no reason to even try for the 2 days. Now, despite it being a pentathlon, which means there's 5 legs to the race, there was actually 6 because there was a team one at the end, but this is what it looked like. So the first leg of the race, there was basically a bunch of different balloons, I think like 15 or so, in which you have to pop each one successively going through the chairs. After doing that, you hand the baton to somebody who's on a chair like this, and they have to go backwards like so. Then they're going to hand the baton to the next person who then has to bring these boxes containing different sorts of PC items like mouses and keyboards across about a 20-yard distance, going back and forth until they relay all the boxes to the next person who then has to build a setup in accordance with what the blueprint looks like. After they build that, they then hand the baton to the next person who has to eat this whipped cream pie, and then the entire team could move on to the finale, which is a game of The Floor is Lava. Now, if you don't know what The Floor is Lava is, it's basically a game in which you have 4 mats and we have 5 people, and you have to just only go on the mats and somehow go 30 yards with your team, getting them all across the finish line, which we then had somebody at the end with a flag who we had to get to in order to claim the victory. First team to ultimately complete all 6 legs of this race would win the finale. Here's what happened.
Give me that one shot. Give me that shot. Give me that shot. Please switch the shot. Jack. There we go. We got extra Emily popping the balloons. Jack had a 2-second late start. E-Rob has to wait. This is the advantage Emily gets. Look at the get-go. Emily first to finish. Not only did she have a 6-second lead, she's also racing out of her mind. Timmy is off to the races. It's a big lead for Team Emily. Let's see if our chair draggers can pick up the speed. Timmy about to cross. First to cross, he's got to run down now. He's got to run down, look at that speed. Passing the baton to Sambucha. Sambucha going for a strategy. He's thought about how he wants to bring these boxes over. He's going 2 at a time. Next up, KDB. Second place is currently Team Vanilla. Slimesicle doing all boxes at once. He drops 1. He drops 2. Sam's done. Yugi's done. Cutie Cinderella's gonna have to build the desk faster than everybody else. Mr. Arthur not too far behind. So far, we got Mr. Arthur in first place, getting some time over on Cutie Cinderella. Now they have to place the objects in the right spot. We got a monitor down for Arthur. We got the PC down for Cutie. Cutie has finished. Pass the baton. She needs to pass the baton. She's good. All right. First place right now is Team Vanilla. Second place is Team Arthur. We got Danny Bands going crazy. You are good. You are good. Go on. Go on. Team Vanilla moves on. Mari has to clean it up. Mari, you are good. You go. We are still waiting for Team Jason. They're in last place. Now we can take a look. Let's catch up with Team Vanilla, who have already started the Floor is Lava Challenge. They have 5 members of their team, but only 4 mats they're allowed to step on. Every time they step on the grass, a ref will see it and pull them back 5 yards. It is a race between 2 right now. It's either Team Emily or Team Vanilla who are going to win this contest. Refs, I need you to stay vigilant in this final stretch. Team Vanilla is falling behind. If they don't figure something out, Team Emily's gonna be the Streamer Games 2025 champions. Team Emily only 10 yards away from first place. They're only 1 or 2 jumps away from finishing. All 5 members have to pass for them to qualify. Team Emily. Team Emily wins! Team Vanilla has yet to have an infraction. You're good. Come across, come across, come across, come across.
Team Emily won, and we got first place in streamer games. Some really amazing strats by the team, like me piggybacking Emily. Shout out to Emily, I think it was her logic. And then Timmy and Arthur also were really helpful with telling us about how to organize the different pads. So collectively as a team, we meshed really well together and were able to get the victory, which was honestly so satisfying to get first place in the event and then first place in the pentathlon to officially claim ourselves as the winners of the event. We ended up getting our trophies, which are these really cool golden tungsten cubes on these like pedestals. And then to my surprise, this also happened.
One more award to give. They were voted MVP of the entire event. This is a genuine tungsten cube, and it goes to Sambucha. Give it up for Sam! Don't.
So I got MVP. There's actually some charts out there that show individual point contributions, and I think I was the most, and then also I was on the winning team, and a lot of people were happy with my performance, so hey, I'll take it. I was voted MVP. I am super pumped about that. I don't have the full tungsten cube. It's like 30 pounds or something. It's very heavy, so I didn't ship it back from LA to New Jersey. It's still in transit right now, but incredible. I am so happy. Shout out to Team Emily. Shout out again to Ludwig and Red Bull and Team Mogul, everybody who's put this event together. It was a ton of fun, really well produced, just like one of the best events that I've been to. So huge shout outs to everybody and to you guys for watching. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you want to see more content, make sure you click here. Otherwise, subscribe on your way out, and I'll see you next time. Peace.